Hi everybody, this has been a special week for Chad and I. We've had some really cool experiences and I want to tell you about two stories specifically. We will start with the one little school that we went to. It is a school for underprivileged children. And you will not believe this.
It was a fun day. It was a fun day. We were able to go and see some of the money that we have donated to the school and what they've done with it in the past and what they're doing with it now. And part of what they're doing is teaching kids how to design and use things, simple things like scissors and paints that some of these kids have never done before or used before. And so went in and we said hello and we were talking. And then Jennifer asked the question, do any of you kids speak English?
Well, one little girl, she's just smarter than a whip. She says, I do. I speak 8 languages. Like, holy smokes.
And I've understood every word you've said. And,
she was a character.
But part of the experience that we were having that day was that they had these little paint cards, postcards that they were painting, and so there was about 8 or 10 students, and so we were all spread around this table, and Jennifer, we got kind of split up, which I think turned out to be the best that we did. Jennifer was on one side and I was over on another end of the table, and I happened to be sitting by this little girl that could speak several languages, and we were talking because she could speak English very well. And she wanted to know where I was from, and when I told her America, she said, oh, America, I love America. You know, she just went on how she said, now Jennifer and Chad. Now I know a Jennifer Lopez, and she went on to name a whole bunch of other American YouTubers that she knew. And I said, oh, you like to watch YouTube? Yes, that's where I practice my English, is watching YouTube. And so she named off a whole bunch of YouTubers that she liked to watch. And then she said Jennifer Lopez, but she's not a YouTuber, she's just a singer. And so I said, oh, YouTube. Do you know who Ellie is? No. Well, yeah, Ellie and Jared. Ellie and Jared. And so that got me all excited. She knew who Ellie and Jared was, just I could tell by her response. And so I grabbed my phone, I started flipping. Do you know Ellie and Jared? Yeah, just a minute. Oh, how do you know Ellie and Jared? What, wait a minute, I'm sitting there trying to find a picture really quick, and I don't have access right quick. And when I finally found a picture of our family, she says, oh, you've seen Ellie. And I said, well, even better. Jennifer and me, we are Ellie's mom and dad. And she just,
it was so cute.
I can't believe it. You are Ellie's parents. And then she started yakking. And all of her friends, she's telling everybody's friends.
I was sitting across the table and I knew what was going on. I could just tell, and then especially when I saw Chad going through his phone, I knew exactly what was going on.
But that was kind of a neat little thing. And
and we were supposed to give this to Ellie.
So this is the little card that she painted. Yeah. And then before we left, she wanted to take a picture, wanted to have her picture taken with us. And then she gave that to us and says, now you make sure Ellie gets this. And I just thought that was so cute for Ellie, from a big fan.
That was fun. I forgot to tell you this. When we were at that school, I saw all those children sitting around that table. And before we left, I said, do you know that I have 22 grandchildren at home in America that are just about your ages? And I said, I miss them so bad. I says, I really loved my grandchildren. I says, but you know what? I love you. I love every one of you in this room. And immediately, a big group of them stood up and they came and they wrapped their arms around my leg and gave me a hug. It was the most tender thing you've ever seen. And I just wanted to throw that in and tell you about it. So that was one experience. And then the other one, how many times do you call up a stranger?
Yeah.
and say, do you want to
spend 6 hours
in the car with us? And we did just that the other day.
Yeah, we
made a new friend.
We had made a donation to a special needs school down in.
And when we say we mean our church,
the
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, had made a donation.
Yeah, we had made a pretty good sized donation in food and hygiene kits to the southern part of Serbia, which is, my understanding is that that's some of the poor villages are down that way. And so we drove down there to visit one of the schools, and this lady that we took with us, she wanted to know if she could ride with us, and we said, sure, that's 6 hours in a car with complete strangers if you dare do it. And we laughed, and she said, oh yeah, sure, that would be great. And so 6 hours later, we have bonded. We are Facebook friends.
Yeah, we
know
call each other nicknames.
And
yeah.
So that was really fun, and it was a special school.
Well, what made it special is this is a school for special needs, a daycare type school for special needs. And they greeted us. So it was just darling. They had 4 or 5 of them that were dressed up in the
native Serbian clothing.
Yeah, and they had a little platter of food there as we walked in.
A little pull bread thing that you pull a piece of bread off, you dip it in salt, and
just really sweet of them.
Just really, really cute the way they welcomed us.
And they sang for us.
And we shared with them why we thought and why we were so happy to be there when
as we were sitting around the little table, that we were having a little snack with them, and Chad told them, I want to share with you why special need community is so near and dear to our hearts. And so Chad got his phone out, and he found these pictures that he's got of his sister Linda and him, and we showed them. They thought they were darling, and we went through all of the pictures of Linda. When we were done talking, Dragon walked over to an area where they had all these umbrellas hanging up that
they made.
Yeah, they had painted these, and he picked one up and he brought it over to Chad, and he handed it to him and says, "This is for Linda.
You take this and give it to Linda." And she would love it. She's gonna think it's really, really
Linda,
cute.
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love your umbrella.
Yeah. So they took us on a little walking tour of the town there, Leskovic, which is just south of Niš in southern Serbia. And they showed us their town hall and an older home that was turned into a museum. And they took us to this church, and they showed us this church, which was kind of a different church. They played a trick, is that during World War I think, they had built this church with a chimney and with a fireplace. And most churches don't have that, but they put the fireplace in there so that they would think that it was just a typical Serbian home, so they wouldn't attack it. And so that was kind of fun to go in there and see that. And on the way out, Dragon went over to this little area where you could purchase candles and other little souvenirs, and got us this picture of Christ and gave it to us. And he said that there's one thing that ties us together, and that's Jesus Christ. We both believe and have faith and hope and want to emulate his life, and so that's the one thing
That was
ties us
so
together.
special.
And it was
to
really,
me.
really quite touching as he was saying that in his English that he knew. And I want to say broken English because his English was a whole lot better
Than any of our
than
Serbian.
our Serbian. So,
That experience, it just, I can't even put it into words, and I'm not very good at putting things into words anyway. But what am I trying to say?
well, it's, and we've mentioned, you know, we've come halfway across the world and we are meeting the most incredible people. Different religions, different races, different ethnic backgrounds, and different cultures. And none of that matters. It doesn't matter one bit to them or to us. And we're, you know, making instant friends just because they are serving out of the goodness of their heart. They're you know, just doing such wonderful work in helping and teaching and working with these special needs kids or underprivileged kids. It doesn't really matter. And you know, we're just wanting to help.
Well, and we
in what they're doing.
Yeah, it really, we couldn't do it on our own. They couldn't do it on their own. Well, I guess we could, but it's so much better to work together on projects like this and doing good. She knew, the lady that we were with, she knew 50 schools in the area, all of Serbia, that are overlooked. You know, they're the ones that are underfunded, and it was just wonderful to be a part of that project.
Yeah, that we were able to help each of those schools just a little bit.
Yeah. So that's just a quick update. I don't know how quick it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how random it was, but that is.
But yeah, it was just a fun 2 or 3 days that we had this week to spend with people who love helping other people, that are thinking outside and more than just themselves.
Oh, I know what I was thinking. One of the comments that was made in the car on the way is, we're not just providing food, we're not just providing the hygiene kits.
Items,
We're telling people that we care about you. You're not forgotten.
yeah.
You're loved.
Yeah, this is more than toothpaste and shampoo and food. It's a an affirmation that you're loved, that you're thought about, that you're not forgotten, that you're somebody special.
Yeah.
And
they are, and you are, and we are.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of just comes right back to this here, is that we are, and we know that not all people believe that Jesus Christ is our Savior, but, and this is what I told Dragon, is that whatever your faith, whatever your religion is, you know, when it's based on a higher power, that, you know, engage yourself in it, be faithful to it, do your best to follow those tenets that they preach, and you know, it makes for a better world.
Comes down to love.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.